あられちゃうキンキンキンキンキンキンテキテキテテンテンピーピピピポペポガチャも夢の爆弾打ち上げとお日様にかにか
And welcome everybody, it's episode 106 of the Red Leaf Retrocast. It's the anime edition coming at you. Tori Hickey, got maybe a short episode today. We say that, but then it always lasts like at least an hour.
I mean, sure, but it'll definitely be an hour of something else other than anime, and then like 10 minutes of anime.
Well, I mean, I could give some thoughts. I've been keeping up with this seasonal anime pretty well, actually.
Damn.
I can give a nice little update, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Yeah, could do that.
Welcome to the Red Leaf Retrocast. Premier League
We watch
edition.
anime.
I mean, we could talk about the Premier League. I've watched Newcastle games. They suck. They're really bad this season. Holy shit. It's like the worst.
They're really bad this season, motherfucker. They were really bad last season.
Oh, I'm aware. But this was like, this is a team that goes, we want to be relegated.
That sounds like Newcastle to me, yeah?
Oh, man. The Alan Shearer era, no more.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you got the reference.
Like, fucking hell, Jesus Christ. Nah, but I mean, I just like it, the fact that there was so much talk leading up to the fucking Aston Villa game as well. Like, just because it's like, one of the things I was focused on is obviously Aston Villa signed Danny Ings this season, and it was just like, oh man, Danny Ings scores a lot of goals, but he never scores against Newcastle. And then in the first half, he just pulls out a fucking scissor kick. Just absolutely fucking smashes the ball into net, and it's like, yeah. What was that about not scoring against Newcastle?
Well, it's Newcastle. That's how. That's the answer. Like, it's almost entertaining to watch a team just be this terrible. It's quite something.
As long as you don't support the team, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, as long as you don't give a shit, then it's great.
If you support the team, I'm sure it's not as fun.
Yeah, it's a little depressing on that end of the spectrum, sure.
Listen, all right, it's okay. When you watch the people that watch fucking Newcastle at this point, they only watch it for Alan Saint-Maximin. All right, that guy's entertaining.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for the Bundesliga to kind of get rolling here. I say it. I feel like I say it every year, but that's kind of the league I pay attention to. It's not like Hanover's in the first division, though.
And it's gonna be the same as it always is.
Lewandowski scores a bunch of goals, makes everyone looks like chumps, and Munich wins for the 13th out of 16th year or something.
Apparently, Lewandowski wants away from Bayern.
Yeah, he's probably bored of being so awesome there.
Probably. Like I watched the cup game between Bayern and Dortmund, and it's just like it's always the same. It's like Dortmund wants to try to compete with Bayern, and I looked at the game and I'm like, yeah, this could be it, because Bayern fucking their first game they were terrible. Maybe this is the year.
No.
And I watched Dortmund. It's like I remember like they were talking before. It's like the coach has said he wants to address personal issues, right? That fucking like for the team, like they make too many like individual errors and shit like that, and it was just that's the thing he wanted to address. And I'm like, how bad can it actually be? The fact that the Dortmund didn't get smashed more by Bayern was entirely down to Bayern just missing fucking chances. I don't understand. They never fucking learn. They keep repeating the same mistakes over and over. Why do you keep playing the ball out to the fucking right back who loses it every single time? Because Bayern is fucking targeting him because he's terrible. Stop doing that. But no, of course not. That would be learning. We haven't been instructed to play this way, so we will keep doing that. No matter how many fucking goals the opponents score.
Look, Jurgen Klopp is not there anymore. We're back to like 2005 Rosicky era, where they were the worst team in the league. Just about.
It's actually just tragic to watch. It's like, when you make a fucking mistake, you fucking change shit up, all right? When you see something doesn't work, you change that shit. You don't fucking insist on keep going doing the exact same thing that doesn't fucking work.
Well, Unfortunately, that's the league that I watch, where it's everyone plays for second place, and then you just watch the rest of the games.
Everyone
It's a
tries
rough
their
stuff.
hardest to lose second place.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just we want to make the Champions League, but we have no shot at first place. That's the Bundesliga. It sucks, but that's the reality of it.
Suddenly a team fucking just gets a bit of momentum. They're within the fucking reach of Champions League. Maybe we will do it. Maybe we will do it. And then they just go into terrible form, losing like the next 5-6 games in a row.
Well, I mean, it's the age-old story. Whenever a German team starts to get good and on close to the level of competition, that they lose a good 3 or 4 of their players to, well, either Bayern or the EPL gets a hold of them in some form or fashion. And it's just the way it works. It's been that way for 25 years. Sucks. Anyways, anime podcast. Should we do it?
Podcast.
There's
Yeah.
football anime.
All right.
We
Well,
all watch them. They
eventually,
exist.
eventually, we're going to talk about the Dr. Slump movie set because it's a look, man. It was an easy watch, but we'll get to it. Save those thoughts. So again, I mentioned it at the end of the previous podcast. This was my pick, and the reason why I chose this is it's the Akira Toriyama show before Dragon Ball Z. It's from the early '80s. It was his most popular venture that kind of kickstarted his career, basically, for all intents and purposes. And the show itself went for like 300 episodes, but most of it is lost to time. And there's been this like venture of trying to recover episodes from airings in many countries from around the world. So you might find like episode 1 is only in English, episode 4 is only in Portuguese, and you have to there's an effort to try to get at least one consolidated subtitle, a translation of all the episodes. I think there are only like 70 episodes in at this point, but for a while there was only like 20 recovered episodes in a single language, and they've gotten it up. But the problem you then run into is, like I found the other day, was there's a torrent file of these 70 episodes, but all the dubs are in just all kinds of different languages, and the subtitles are all in English. It's very wacky. So being that it was such a popular show that's just lost, I figured it's worth kind of looking into. We checked out the manga, and we kind of had fun with it. It's goofy comedy. It's a little bit on the childish side. And the movie set covers kind of the basic premise of what the show is. They basically function as multi-long episodes in reality of it all. And I think it's a good I think it was a good representation of the series, and it was worth kind of checking out from a retro anime perspective, more than, I guess, our interest in the enjoyment of the show, potentially.
Yeah. Also, just taking away all the fancy words, JD bought the set of the movies, and he didn't feel like watching it, except he was obligated to do so, so he nominated it for the podcast.
Well, I mean, it's been on my plan to watch list for a while, just never got around to it, and this is as good as time as any.
Yeah.
Not,
I feel you.
not mandatory watching. Come on.
Don't worry about it. We're doing the reviews of the Evangelion next time.
Yeah, and that's a big announcement too. The Evangelion Rebuild final movie came out, I think like last week, and it's on Amazon Prime. And we're gonna do something special where the next episode is a review of the Rebuild movies, making a special exception for this because it's fucking Evangelion, the '90s powerhouse. Yeah. It prints money. We got to do it, and this was your brilliant idea, Hickey.
Yeah, it's totally not because I feel like watching the movies, but I don't feel like watching, except if I'm obligated to do so in the podcast. No, of course not. Yeah. Anyway, my funny story. I got vaccinated the first dosage, and it is a terrible moment of my life. I hate every single time of it, every single second. For 2 reasons. One, I don't like getting vaccinated. I don't like needles.
Yeah,
so
you gotta be clear. You're not against vaccination. You're against the needle part.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I'm against obligatory vaccination, but you should get vaccinated anyway.
Yes, I don't want polio, for example.
Oh yeah, polio sucks.
Why not?
Why not? It sounds so cool. It was hip
Anyway.
in the 40s. Let's get it.
So
There we
my blood pressure dropped so much I went into a cardiac arrest,
Oh my
almost
god.
a cardiac arrest, and a hypothermia case. It wasn't very fun. So I was not having a good time. Then it got to my time to get vaccinated. And my problem is not the shot itself. Once the needle is in, I'm okay. I just relax. It's fine. Problem is before that. And something funny happened here. When they started vaccinating, they were showing in national television the old people getting vaccinated. The thing is, the nurse that was applying the vaccine, when they were showing it, she got nervous and she put the needle in and forgot to press the syringe. So she took it off without actually applying the vaccine.
Why would they
To the
show that
test.
on TV? Was it live?
No, because like it was live. It was live.
Oh.
And I think she got nervous, so she kind of forgot to press it,
Oh,
right?
poor girl.
So people were like, they are not vaccinating anyone, they're faking it, and why not? So now what they do with every single vaccine is that they will show you the syringe.
Oh,
with
you
the
have to
liquid
you have to
inside.
watch now?
No, you need to look at it. They put it like 2 inches in front of your eyes, the needle with the liquid, and say, here's 50 milliliters
Oh,
of the
I
vaccine.
see. Okay.
I will inject this to you, and once it's done, I'll show it to you empty. So you know you actually got vaccinated. Problem is, I don't like needles. So I was okay. I was like, I'm not gonna look.
Until they
it's
showed
fine.
you the needle, yeah.
You know, every single other time I got vaccinated is like, I am okay. They don't show me. It's fine. Doesn't matter. She put the needle right in front of my face and said, and I only heard, this is 50 milliliters. And then I just spaced out. Everything went out of focus and
Oh,
started to
no.
get white. And I'm like, I just
Just a
said,
straight anxiety attack.
Yeah, I was like, just vaccinate me. I am going to pass out. This is gonna be fun. And then she started laughing. So she vaccinated me and showed me the empty thing. After that, I went to work. Then the side effects kicked in.
From the
not
first
only
shot?
because from the first shot.
Or are you sure this wasn't like a side effect from your heart rate coming back down?
It was the second. It was, I think it was both. Because when I got in the morning, because it was early morning when I took the shot, probably the morning was the kind of my heart beating going back to normal. But in the afternoon, I couldn't do anything because I was extremely like sluggish, and I start to feel my throat kind of funny, and it was the same kind of feeling I had when I had COVID in the beginning of the year. And I was like, oh, this is the same as the day before I actually got a really, really bad case of, not a really, really bad case of COVID, but it was bad enough. And I was like, oh, I see. So this is the side effect. I took the Oxford one, the AstraZeneca, which they say the first shot is the worst one.
Really? Okay, interesting.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, it's fine. I'm just going to take some medicine so I don't have fever and it will be fine. I worked, kind of. I don't remember much what I did. I came home and I slept the whole day, the rest of the day up to today morning. And I'm okay now. The problem is, when I had COVID and I recovered, I lost my sense of smell. And it sucks.
Right, yeah.
So I was recovering well.
What about
and I
your
was like,
sense of taste?
The sense of taste, when I had it, it was gone for like 3 weeks and then came back.
Okay,
But
yeah.
because I never quite recovered my sense of smell, it kind of started affecting my taste buds again.
Yeah.
So like
It's wild.
at the beginning of the August, I couldn't really taste anything except like a few chemicals.
Wait, hold on. You could
What?
taste a few chemicals.
Yeah, foods have chemical substances.
Yeah, I get it. It's just the word, the verbiage, the words.
Yeah. So, for example, coffee for me, ever since I got COVID, it tastes and smells like washing machine soap with sugar.
Oh, so your taste buds and smell are all out of whack.
Yeah, and the problem is my brain is starting to say, "Oh, so that's the normal taste of coffee." Of
Oh
course.
no, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's really bad. But I was recovering, and I have a cousin that works with recovery and whatnot, and he said, "Oh, just takes a bunch of substances like wood and metal and nerve and smell them through the day, so you get accustomed with it again."
Yeah,
Because
you
my
gotta
biggest problem
like
right now,
retrain your brain
yeah,
to
my biggest
like what
problem
you're
right now,
visualizing, what you're
what is the
smelling.
taste, what I
Yeah.
should taste, and kind of recover the smell palette. Because my biggest problem right now is cooking gas,
Okay.
because I cannot smell it. So imagine if I come home and there's actually a gas leak, I won't be able to smell it, and I just flip the lights on and everything goes boom. It's really bad. But I was recovering. It's fine. Guess what happened? I woke up today and I cannot smell anything and I cannot taste anything. I had fish for lunch. It tasted like cardboard.
Oh
And
no, the
my
worst.
life, I am in a spiral of sadness and miserability right now. Because just breathing, the air smells like cardboard. It's really bad. It's not fun. And I thought getting vaccinated would help me. But it made my life so miserable because I cannot smell or taste
Oh,
anything
it's so
anymore again.
inconvenient for you right now.
Well, it is. I try to like eat fruits, and the fruits taste like sheer
Nothing.
paper.
Paper mache.
Yeah, paper mache. You know, when you're a kid and you kind of sometimes you chewed. Have you ever chewed on paper mache? And because there's color, it kind of tastes like
It tastes like
No.
blue.
kind of bitter paper.
I don't
It
have
tastes
many
like
memories
that.
of eating paper when I was a child.
How about wax? Like candle wax?
No.
No.
only in
No.
the bedroom when it gets weird.
Okay. That's good enough.
As a kid? All right. Okay. The more we know.
Yeah, that's not good enough. As a kid and an adult, no, I'm gonna shoot
Well,
your
you specified as a kid.
But yeah, but now like everything just doesn't taste and doesn't smell like anything again.
I'm sure it'll
And
come
it's
back.
a problem because I don't know how my brain will kind of assimilate that.
Maybe it'll come back in a month. Who knows?
Yeah, I drank coffee today and it didn't it didn't taste like anything. It was just like hot water.
So do you?
It was
So
really
in
sad.
Brazil, do you have your second shot already lined up?
Yeah, it'll be November.
November.
to-
Oh wow.
They give me like from this day on, you get your site and you know shadow your second shot. That's it.
Hmm.
So they give me the little card and they put on. I had to do the registering on the site first.
Yep.
It's state by state, by the way. My state does that. Other states don't. For example, Rio is doing without shadowing, and each day they do a age. So I think yesterday was 19 years old. Today's 18 years old. Tomorrow is probably 17. They stop in 17 and restart. So those who missed can take 60,
I got
59, 58, 57, and it goes like that without shadowing. Here you need to shadow everything. They give tickets
I see.
online, and I
So-
got mine for yesterday.
It's super
they
interesting
don't-
how different countries have gone about distribution, the mindset of cultures coming into effect. Even in my own country here, the United States, how just different states are handling things. Like I spoke to my dad for almost an hour this morning about in Houston, Texas. The governor of Texas is out of his mind, and the people in Houston, the mayor is getting a system approved where they're trying to pay people to take vaccines $100 for the first shot, $50 for the second one. And there's so many people that still, like kind of in your case, Hickey, where people saw something on the news where the nurse got nervous, and it just exemplifies kind of a conspiracy theory in people, and then you got the governor on top of Texas coming on the news saying he's trying to get a law passed where schools aren't allowed to even have masks in schools, for example. You got another like politician that said black people are the cause of infection rates. Like, people are out of their fucking mind, and you just really see the worst in people and how different cultures react to these things. It's definitely I'm sure cultural studies in colleges are just having a field day with all this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. It just sucked that last week it was like 25 years old, and it was like I missed the actual 25-year-old by a week. On my birthday, it became like 18 plus, so I had to compete with a bunch more people. I was like, oh man, but right now it's just, man, I just wish I could taste things.
It's crazy. Like
I can
was
taste
just a
sour
little
things.
yeah, I was just a little tired after my second shot. That was it.
It's probably because I had COVID.
Yeah,
I
I have heard from numerous people that I know and people that I work with that had COVID that they had a much worse reaction to the second shot. It's not universal, of course, but it just seems to be, just in my experience with the people I know, that it's more common.
Yeah.
Couple that with the fact that he took the AstraZeneca vaccine, and from what I've heard of the people I've taken that thing fucking kicks your ass.
Man,
The way that the other ones does.
I came home. I bought a bunch of beer for something that was going to happen today, but doesn't happen. It won't happen anymore. I came home. I just said, "Thank God I didn't pass out inside of the bus." So I just took off my clothes and slept. Then I woke up. What time was it? I woke up, it was like 10 p.m. I ate something. Then I just spaced out until 1 a.m. and then went to sleep again. Yeah, I think that was it. I didn't do anything. I didn't like look at my phone and whatnot. I just lay down on my bed and woke up for like 3 hours and then went to bed. Went to sleep again. That thing kicked my butt real hard, and now I cannot smell or taste anything. Also, not to mention that I had a polystyrene intoxication at the beginning of the week, and it was really bad as well.
Yeah, of course. Just throw that in there on the side.
Shit happens, man.
Shall we talk about anime?
Sure.
Should we?
Yeah, I think we should.
We wasted a lot of time already.
Yeah, it kind of just flew by. Actually, that's kind of cool. Actually,
Yeah.
I finally finished like the first half of Tokyo Revengers.
Nice.
I watched 3 episodes this morning. I'm not really feeling how the first half ended. It kind of feels like a restart of the series, and it's a real big pet peeve of mine. Where he thinks he fixed the past, if you know what I mean. How far are you, Hickey? Are you like caught up or finished or something?
Yeah, most likely. I need to catch up with it because I've already watched the manga, and because of that, I don't feel pressure to keep up with the series.
Yeah, I just finished up to episode 12. So I've watched.
But it's most like something really big happens, and then there's a huge reset. It's like, shit, now shit is going wrong for other set of problems that I need to solve. God damn it.
Yeah, and it's such a common trope in not just anime and a lot of storytelling, and just trying to reset the story to just tell it again and extend it. It almost seems unnecessary when
at least that's just the future, not so much the past.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't hate it, but I do find myself, there is something the show is doing that I'm noticing I get kind of irritated at, and that's Tokyo Revengers is really adamant about the character, usually the main character, Prime Bitch Boy 101, of him like looking down at the ground and crying and self-monologuing to himself how everything sucks. And then it'll do a recap of something either earlier in the episode or from the last episode or the previous one. So it's a good, and on episode 12 here that I finished just an hour ago prior to recording, I find myself just, I kind of tested to see how much of the episode you could kind of skip through if when you get to that moment of just nothing happening and he's crying to himself. The episode turns from like 23 minutes into almost 14 minutes. That's how much you could just skip through that. It's pretty wild. I'm like, man, no wonder I feel like these episodes kind of go on forever unnecessarily. I found that kind of interesting.
Yeah, kind of, but that's pretty much most of modern anime.
Yeah, I don't know why Tokyo Revengers itself, because, like, let's face it, One Piece does that shit constantly.
Yeah, you're just paying attention to that because of the other inherent problems of this anime. The adult life 101, you'll just look down, you go into self-monologue while crying, and then your boss comes and says, yo, you're wasting your time. Go back to work.
Yeah, and then he just leaves.
Why can't it do this fucking reasonable thing like, the One Pieces of the world does, where the entire recap is at the beginning of the episode? So yeah, sure, it's only 15 minutes of new content. Well, 15 minutes of new content. But fucking, at least you can just skip all that shit, and then the rest of what you're watching is new.
Yes, that's a very good point, actually. Like, in the middle of the episode, I'm not finding myself 2-3 minutes every 5 minutes just watching a recap or the character crying, staring at the ground.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, it kind of reminds me of, the whole, like, old thing where it's, like, in order to, like, drum up suspense that they would do with, like, TV series or what, the fucking, like, halfway, like, ad roll, I was like, they build up to something for that, and then after the ad, it's like, they go back and they redo it and usually change whatever happened because, it wasn't that serious as it seemed before.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's kind of that, like that it reminds me of, because that's nowhere near as much of a recap, but it's like, that also started annoying me really fast when shows started doing that, and I'm just like, I fucking hate that, because the moment I see something and it immediately cuts to an ad, I know that they're going to reset that and they're going to change what actually happened.
Yeah, it's a big television technique. It's not just anime that does it. It's a lot of TV shows in general where
live action has done that for a long time.
Yeah,
it's like I said, it's to get people sticking around, right? Ad is coming up, and it's like, oh, we got to make sure they don't leave.
Yeah, you because television viewership loses the most viewership during a commercial, so they got to try to come up with a hook to keep you there. Yeah, exactly. One show
they lie to you.
Yeah, one show I'm really enjoying, and I said this, I don't know if it was last time or the time before, is Idaten Deities. Like, this show is so wacky. It's super different. It's mature. It's on Noitamina, of all things. I know I didn't mention that before. And any show that gets on Noitamina is always going to be on the more mature side. And this is definitely on the mature side, but it's also got the wacky shonen-ness to it that I do find myself just entertained by. And one aspect of the show that is just super entertaining is the concept of, and they really dove further into it in the last couple episodes, was, so you got the deities who just kind of come into existence, and then you got demons whom have, they established that they've adapted human brains, so they're not just these out-of-control monsters, like the show first established them as. So there's a moment where one of the deities kind of strips nude a demon, and he just goes, "Nice rack," and she's all embarrassed, and he goes, "See, that's what I'm talking about. You demons now have this sense of, like, pride and embarrassment. It's so worthless." Like, and he just explains what a foreign concept that is, and it's really like now that's their main weakness, and that's why he wins. So there was a purpose to that kind of comedic moment, which. And then they keep touching on that over time, where it's a rolling theme, where the deities, they're strong, like supernatural beings basically. They don't really care about humans, and they admit it. They're like, yeah, I mean, I guess we protect them, but it's not like a big deal if a whole bunch die. we just don't want the whole world to go out of control. So they got to they have this super ethics standpoint for all life on the planet, not just focused on humanity, while demons have kind of focused on humanity in this whole way, but they also have this like super evil side to them. It's very wacky, and I'm super into that show. What does it have on Mal right now? Actually, it's a score. Let's see. It's got. Well, it's not one of the more popular shows. It's got a 7.56.
Sure.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's by Mappa, so it's like it's very colorful and well animated. I quite like that.
So far.
Yeah, so far. Yeah.
How many episodes will there be?
Of E. Dotson?
Yeah.
I've seen 6, there's 7 out. Or I've seen 5, there's 6 out? Hold on.
How many episodes have I seen?
Hold on. Open Crunchyroll. I have seen 5 and 6 are out. Since I don't have Crunchyroll Prime, I gotta wait a week for the newest one. Not a big deal. I caught up on Detective is Already Dead show. That one I've seen 6 out of 6 shows, 6 episodes already.
What the hell is that?
Conan is already dead.
Yeah, Hickey, you convinced me to check this show out. I've watched half the season already. This show is so bizarre.
Wacky. Yeah.
It's like I don't know what to make of it. Like the characters, especially the main one. You weren't kidding.
Main one is a well, shit.
Like
Sorry,
you weren't kidding when you described this character as basically an adult, but they established him as a middle school kid. Like he's 13.
No, I think he was in high school.
Well, now he is, but he still acts like he's like 30 years old.
Yep.
And it doesn't fit. Like the establishment of characters' ages and how they hang out and everything, it doesn't fit the lifestyle. It's so contradictory. it's so bizarre. I don't know what to make of it when I'm watching it.
Yeah. It's quite wacky. You just go like, oh, they are just pretending to be high schoolers. They are young adults. It becomes less wacky, but the story itself is quite wacky on itself.
Yeah, I can't make heads or tails of what they're going for, how they go for it, why did they come to this conclusion? Like it's so much doesn't make sense, even in its own little universe to me.
Yeah.
It's based on a manga, right?
Light novel.
Light novel, okay. Yeah, no, but it's pretty, probably sounds to me like it's one of those cases where somebody came up with a concept and then the editor was like, yeah. How about if it set that in high school, though?
Like, I mean, I believe you.
Seems like it.
Don't worry about that. Just keep everything the same, but set it in high school. It becomes more relatable then. Okay, sure.
Sure, boss, I guess. That doesn't make sense, boys.
Yes, fucking, who's going to relate to this fucking divorced 13-year-old? But yeah, sure.
Oh, God, that is a good way to describe it. Because the character acts like he's a divorced, like, single guy, but he's actually, like, 14.
Hit close.
Oh my God.
James like, it makes perfect sense. He behaves like me.
No, I don't. Like you saying I act like a 14-year-old?
No.
Sometimes.
14-year-old doesn't act like a 14-year-old. What do you watch Shonen?
Like, I would say a 14-year-old doesn't have problems with drinking, but depending where you live, that might be not true.
Jesus Christ.
It could be true.
Yeah. Really going for the jugular with that one.
Nah, JJ. The first step to just solving a problem is admitting you have one.
Come on.
I came to realization I have a problem with drinking. That's why I drink less now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your explanation is I know a drinking problem because I have one.
Yeah. I mean, I was almost passing out due to the COVID shot, And even still, instead of coming home, I went to a bar and bought a bunch of beer and came home with that. And then I pass out.
Hickey, how often do you think I drink?
Every week?
I haven't had one this week.
Suddenly has to think about it and hold on, shit.
I mean,
At least for a 3-day pause, because your liver appreciates those little pauses.
I since I got my second vaccine, just about every Friday after work, I go and have a couple beers at a bar.
Yeah,
And then
that's good enough. You just don't get wasted that
No.
often anymore. That's good enough.
Unlike Hickey.
Hey. The last time we got really wasted was 2 weeks ago.
Oh no.
I didn't even get wasted on my birthday. Look at that. Probably because it was a Sunday.
I mean, I got wasted last Friday. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, no. I know I got wasted because I came home with an Uber, and the Uber said, "Oh man, I thought you were gonna rob me." I was like, Nah, I don't do that anymore."
What? Yeah, that's a good parting gift. I thought you were gonna rob me or stab me. Come on, that's the old me.
Yeah, I said,
I didn't bring a weapon this time. It's all right.
Yeah, I was like, I'm joking. I
forgot my knife at home.
Prosecution office. I was like, yeah, I know how hard it is. I worked in the prosecution office, and I started like talking about this time where there was this criminal case where the guy tried to rob an Uber, and someone just came out of nowhere. I think it was like a vigilante. I guess he was stealing the Uber, and when the guys tried to escape with the car, he just rammed the Uber car and went out of his car and just fucking opened fire on the criminals and just killed everyone and just left. And the Uber driver was just watching all of that.
Bro.
I was like, yeah. It sounded straight out of a movie. I was like, about that. I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, yeah, it was really cool. There were videos of it. I was like, it was a cool occurrence. I'm gonna lie. It was straight out of a movie. And no one found the guy. Wink, wink. The police really tried. They're hard to find the guy who killed the criminals. Wink, wink.
Oh my God.
But they couldn't find the guy. Wink, wink. And I also tried really hard to lead the investigation. Wink.
You're
wink.
winking a lot. Are your eyes okay?
Yeah. Something fell on my eye.
Yeah, okay.
He's drunk.
Not yet. Not yet.
I was thinking about that COVID vaccine. My eyes started twitching.
Oh God, I cannot wait for I still need the second shot, dude. I will never recover my sense of smell. It's not coming back.
I can finally smell again. All right, Hickey, it's time for your second dose.
Fuck. If I move out, I'll have to like put. I put some measures against gas bags because I'm just gonna kill myself. Oh man. Anyway.
Shall we talk about Dr. Slump? Is it about that time?
I think so.
Yeah, sure.
It?
Sure.
The aquarium anime is still very beautiful. That's all.
Nobody cares about PA works.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Come on. Everyone care about cute anime girls. And well animated anime, I guess.
No, that's just a lie.
Okay.
All right, I'm playing the drop. All right, thank you, Lupin. Looking forward to part 6 coming out next season. Sentai Filmworks got a hold of it. There we go.
Hell yeah.
Okay. 38 minutes into the show, let's talk about what this episode's about.
And let's end it. 38 minutes in and let's end it.
Okay. Dr. Slump, the first 5 movies. So this is the episode's titled Dr. Slump Movie Set. That's what we're doing here. We got movies 1 through 5. All of them were short and sweet. I did like that. They weren't difficult
Except
to
the
watch.
one that was like 90 minutes long.
Yeah, the second one was, I think, what, an hour and 20 minutes, I think?
An hour,
isn't it?
I think it was the second one. It was the okay. So let's go.
Definitely the second one. Yes.
Let's see. The second one was hour and a half. Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
There's
I guess
another one?
I guess I'll just give a nice little short summary. I'll just read the My Anime List one of what Dr. Slump is. Dr. Slump creates a little android girl, calls her Arale. She's extremely strong, happy, and she lacks basically common sense. They live in a place called Penguin Village, and shenanigans happen. Simple enough?
Similar.
Yeah.
Also, this was created during a mushroom-infused fever dream, most likely.
Someone probably had a
Definitely.
drinking problem at the same time while in the
I
making
don't
of
know
the
if
show.
Araki... No, Araki probably had a drug problem, to be honest with you. That is the shit that happens in Dr. Slump, even in the background. It's not related to alcohol at all, unless you're truly severely poisoned by it.
So, for those that don't know, it's Kiri Toriyama. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, he created a imagine Dragon Ball the original, but now with an android girl, and it's only comedy. I think that's a good way to describe it.
And the comedy is pretty much just them trying to skirt the line of what is and isn't considered copyright.
Oh
God
yeah, okay. So the
fucking
five
damn it.
movies are titled. Movie 1 is Hello Wonder Island. Movie 2 is Space Adventure. Movie 3 is Great Round the World Race. Movie 4 is The Treasure of Nan-Aba Castle. And movie 5 is City of Dreams Mecopolis, which is a straight parody of a bunch of other shows, basically.
Uh-huh.
All right, so let me ask you the first question, guys. Did you have a favorite and least favorite of the 5 movies?
Ooh.
Because let's face
Simple
it, like,
answer?
yeah, okay,
No.
simple answer. No, the answer is
Simple
no.
answer,
They're all bad.
absolutely not. No. They're all bad. Okay. I don't even think I'm genuinely qualified to fucking review this shit because I don't even know what to think about it. I did not have a good time. If I had to say the one I liked the least, it would be the 5th movie for the simple reason that at that point I was so fucking fed up with this shit that I couldn't stand it. I was at 2 times speed. It still felt like it took 2 fucking hours, but I would also probably give a fucking round for the 2nd movie because it's got too goddamn long. But positives for that, at least. The fucking villain is voiced by the fucking guy who originally voiced Lupin. And that is so fucking weird to me when he started talking. I'm like, I know this voice.
I knew I recognized it.
This voice is familiar. And then I look, it's like, who is it? Who is it? What? I can't think of. There's somebody I've heard many times before, but I can't think of it because, Lupin has a new voice actor, or has had for a long time. So it's like, what is it? Then I look at it, it's like, it's fucking Lupin. He does sound like Lupin. He is Lupin.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. So why did you watch past the 2nd movie then?
Because it's fucking movies and they're all like 30 minutes.
Okay,
Except for one.
Wasn't the worst experience in your life? It's up there.
Ask me again in a couple of years, and maybe I'll.
I mean, you
have a
dropped
different opinion,
Initial
but-
D, but you completed the Dr. Slump movies.
I did. Well, only 5 of them. There's way more.
Yeah, there's like 11
But
of them.
basically, what I'm trying to say is if you come here and say we're doing fucking 5 more, then no.
No.
That'll be without me.
I think we're Dr. Slumped out after this one.
Yes, I am I was Dr. Slumped out after the first one. I looked at it and I was just like, highlights for this, the entire thing for me was when I posted a fucking screenshot on Twitter of Superman.
Suppleman.
Superman.
I fucking, I basically started getting a bunch of likes after a while. And then I realized one of the guys who liked it is called Senbei Norimaki. I was just like, nice. That is so fucking random. But,
So for those that don't know, Senbei is the main scientist character who created Arale.
Yeah.
Yep. He is Dr. Slump.
He is Dr. Slump. I thought that was fucking neat. I was like, oh, nice. That is the most random thing. I did not expect to see a fucking fan account on Twitter.
This guy's like, "Oh, nice, they're talking about Doctor Slump."
Finally, someone's talking about my thing. Goes to my tweets. Oh my god, this guy's complaining.
Let's see. I guess the third movie, the Race Across the World,
That was also my favorite.
and the worst one is the second because it's so goddamn long. Oh man, I wish I could be drinking when I watched this. Not gonna lie.
I think my least favorite was the first one.
I think it wasn't because I'm pretty sure I remember that from the manga. I remember reading that.
it just felt like an episode of Dr. Slump. It
It
didn't
is an
really
episode of Dr. Slump. It's 25 minutes.
Yeah, it didn't serve like a purpose to me. It didn't have a long enough or interesting story. I didn't really laugh at any of the jokes. So
It didn't serve a purpose. Did any of these movies serve a fucking?
well, I mean, there was
Oh
a
my God.
beginning, middle, and end to all of them.
Ugh.
So there's that.
Technically, kind of, maybe.
Sorta.
It does technically qualify as a story. Thank you, JT.
Yeah. So movie 1 is all about trying to find a love potion. Hijinks ensue. Not much else happens there. Arale fights a dragon of sorts. Haha. The second movie
Good Lord.
was an hour and a half, like by far the longest one, and it's all about like it probably has the most in-depth plot to it. So I guess that would be one to seek out. It's all about this galactic evil scientist called Masharito, and he's, I guess,
Totally not Lupin.
he's totally not. Yeah, he's totally not Lupin. He's holding the parents of the teacher's planet hostage so he can marry her. And it's up to Senbei and crew to try to stop it, basically. And it goes on forever. It's a lot of wacky
It
fights.
sure does.
Movie 3
Yes,
is
sure.
a race around the world. It's just a straight up episode of like wacky racers that
Yeah,
was
it's-
52 minutes.
You
I was
know,
entertained by it.
it's Speed Racer.
Yeah, it's Speed Racer but comedy with a bunch of
I
like
don't know,
weapons
man.
and stuff.
Speed Racer,
was
but
very fun.
comedy.
Well, I mean, Speed Racer is pretty funny in the modern eyes. Yes, we did cover that.
Speed Racer is actually a action. It's actually an action show. He kills a lot of people in that show.
He does, yeah.
So likely.
A lot of people possibly died in this movie, this wacky race movie. Masharito returns for the third movie, and the winner of the race will get to marry the princess. So this was weird because I thought they were the same character, the teacher and the
No.
alien daughter, but
definitely
apparently they just look exactly the same, and they switch places. They pull like a Parent Trap situation there.
Yeah. The most upsetting thing for me for the third movie is that Masharito is back and he has a new voice actor. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah,
You're
he
gonna
did.
Give
That was
me
a bummer.
Lupin again.
Movie
I can't get to
4.
keep spending time with Lupin.
Yeah, movie 4 was about like recovering a jewel, and it has power, and then there's a genie inside the jewel or whatever the fuck. It hardly matters. And then movie 5 was just kids go to Mecopolis and they just kind of dream up having fun, and everything was a parody. So we got there's one character that's a straight up Astro Boy ripoff. There's another that's they even threw it in the movie of Fist of the North Star. Like,
yep.
to the T.
I never knew I was so strong.
Yeah, so at least I got some good parody laughs in that movie. See, that was 38 minutes. Movie 4 was 48 minutes. There's a theme here. Did you guys have a favorite character or least favorite?
Jesus.
I don't know
Superman is
anything
quite
about
nice.
these characters. I know they're all retarded. That's about it.
I like the car from the third movie.
Oh, boy, yeah, the
yeah,
car's got
yeah.
personality. He's all depressed and sad.
Every single machine has a consciousness.
That car's
Very
a real adult.
What was the car's name? Is like Boro or something? Boro
Something like
Boro?
that.
something like that.
Hardly
And it
matters.
is, yeah, it's just comedic skits. Like you just need to know Arale's name. That's about it, and that she's a robot. That if you don't know that, it will be a little bit weird coming into this. Although there's talking pigs and dinosaurs everywhere, so a kid with human strength is not really that extraordinary in Doctor Slump universe.
Yeah, not really. And they kind of treat her as just they treat her
A kid.
her lack of common sense as the issue because then she doesn't know her own strength. Hickey, you're kind of bugging out there.
Excuse me?
You're bugging out.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any more thoughts? Because I have a favorite character.
All right, good. Then give it.
The biggest surprise in this is that in movie 5, Senbei is apparently married to Sensei, and I wasn't expecting that, and I got it's like, what? Senbei is married? What happened to the
Yeah.
joke? What about the joke about him not being able to marry?
What's wrong? He can't get the girl?
No, it's just that even in the manga, I guess we didn't get to the part where he got married to the teacher.
No, I guess
I was
not.
like, wait, why is the teacher in Senbei's house? Wait, they're married? What?
Well, I mean, one thing to note is each of these movies came out annually. And so we start in, let's see, the original show started in spring 1981 and it ended in fall 86, or I'm sorry, winter 86. So the first movie comes out in the summer of 81 and it goes on annually because the fifth movie we watched came out in the summer of 85. So we kind of got shoved into the world after a year of the show being out. So it would make sense that after 5 years of the show being out, that they advance the story in some way. Story, quote unquote. I'll put that in quotes.
I don't know, man. I agree. That was kind of weird. Just because it was like there's a little moment where I'm just like, when she's in their house, and I was like, oh yeah, wait, huh? Why are you what?
Why are you here? What? I was like, yeah, no, let's go back to bed. I was like,
Let's go home. Yeah, let's go home. Home? Oh, I guess she's just taking her home. We're home. We're home. What? What happened? What I miss?
Well, one thing I was kind of piecing together was how every character you can do a lateral move to a character in Dragon Ball. Because we watched the first season of Dragon Ball for this podcast. We reviewed it. Like Akane, she's my favorite, and she's Bulma. Arale is definitely Goku. You could probably say that. Well, I mean, the hot blonde chick is straight up Launch from Dragon Ball. They made 2 of them in this show. Like, did you guys put those pieces together? It's pretty obvious.
I mean, I don't have much experience with Dragon Ball, so not particularly. But I mean, it makes sense. Like you reusing characters, well, not even reusing characters, but having characters based on the same idea. I mean, fucking Arno did that with Gunbuster and Aba. Like, pretty common.
Yeah, it's quite Dragon Ball-ish. When did Dragon Ball start?
Dragon Ball started, I think, in 85. Did it not?
I don't know.
Time to look it up.
86.
86. Ah, I was close. I was in the ballpark.
An entire year of God. You don't even know when Dragon Ball started?
Shame.
All right, so the main character, Arale. Pros and cons.
Yes.
Given to me.
Good question.
Like, did you find her? Because the whole purpose of the show is comedy, and it's clearly for very young children. So it's
Oh,
like we
really?
are not the prime target audience, clearly. But
Yeah.
like, if you were
entirely back to what I said.
yes, but if you were like, could you see yourself maybe as a child and gravitating
No.
towards this kind of show or the character of Arale? Like, would you
No.
find her funny and entertaining?
No, I don't think I would. I really do not think I would. I don't even like. I'm struggling to find like, because part of me was to be like, you know, she lacks common sense. She's naive. But it's like, it'll just go back to she's stupid. She's fucking stupid, and I can't stand that sort of. Nothing about that shit is fun. It's like, look, she got crushed, but it's okay. She is super strong. Yeah, I'm just sitting there, it's like, I don't see the fun in this. What am I? Where's the fucking humor? I don't see it. So no, I don't really have any pros.
Yeah, I don't think so. I wasn't that kind of kid when I was young, so I don't think I would gravitate towards it. Maybe towards the show itself, sure.
I would have to be real.
Although it's really clogged up with weird stuff in the background.
It's
And
just
in the
nonstop
programs and everywhere.
slapstick, and that's
Yeah,
where it
I-
loses me.
Yeah, I prefer I prefer cleaner aesthetic shows, even when I was a kid.
I prefer better stories, even as a kid. Fucking, I like Digimon over fucking Pokemon because it had a better story.
No, even like if you understand, like, oh, the show, it's not trying to accomplish anything. Just
I know, that's what I'm saying. I would, even as a kid, I would not like this.
yeah, I would I guess I would watch,
I wouldn't.
but it's
I honestly
it's not something that I was like, oh man, this would be my favorite show as a kid, because it's way too clogged up with so much thing happening in the background. But at the same time, like the Senbei and Natalie interactions, I think I would have a kick out of it.
You're gonna, like,
That's
the
it.
only
So I
way
guess that's the positive part. Problem is everything's so clogged with a bunch of things, and there's a bunch of poop jokes. I never thought poop jokes were fun.
poop jokes.
There was a
Yeah,
whole
no, but
lot
like-
of poop jokes in it.
There's a whole lot of poop jokes, but like, again, because the entire thing, like, the only place I can see myself, like, the only time in my life I can see myself getting a kick out of the show and enjoying the show would be roughly around the same time in which I watched the fucking Teletubbies on TV, which was when I was too young to fucking understand anything, and the only thing I was reacting to was the fucking colors, because I fucking that's essentially what the Teletubbies existed as. It wasn't so much about what the fuck was going on. It was just, hey, look, weird looking thing, bright colors, kids love that. But no, after anything later than that, then no, I don't see myself. This is not my kind of show. It has never been my kind of show. The comedy isn't funny. Like, I sort of get a kick about making jokes over the fucking, like, borderline copyright issues that they're going into. But except for that, there really isn't anything for me here to like. Because obviously it's not for me, but I just don't see me ever fucking being a mark for the show. It doesn't do anything. Like, slapstick was not a thing when I was a kid. Like, it was, but it wasn't a thing that I watched. It wasn't a thing that we were getting on TV. It's not a type of humor that we were getting. Yeah, no, I can't see myself ever watching the show.
On the flip side, by the way, the manga is quite fun. At least my opinion.
I mean, yeah,
So
we had a
even
much
though
easier time with the manga.
I wouldn't watch the show. I wouldn't watch the movies as a kid, but I would buy the manga every week, every like weekly chapter,
Mm.
or the compilation, the Takobon version of it, I'll 100% buy it. No problem at all. Just like the 4 panel kind of comics, I'd 100% get that. I'd 100% get Dr. Slump in the manga version. 100%. Every single release. No problem at all, because I think it's quite funny, the manga. It doesn't really translate that well here. It just looks like a drug-induced fever dream.
Yeah, I think definitely my biggest disconnect was Arale is, and most of the cast is just too stupid, and there's never any real dialogue that ensues. It's just nonstop in your face, just stuff happening for the sake of randomness. And I'm almost shocked that maybe it's just like, this is what I was thinking about. Maybe this is just a straight up product of the era of when it came out in the early 80s, when there just wasn't a whole lot of this going on. And as soon as like the late 80s happened, mid to late 80s, there just wasn't enough of this, because, you know, you had shows like Ranma that really took off. And another show I was trying to just compare in my head, like, why do I like Urusei Yatsura so much more when that's slapstick comedy? Well, it's because at times there's actually messages they're trying to get across and actual dialogue happening, and the characters just are perceived as not toddlers at either. So it just connects a little bit better, I think, to a, well, I don't want to say older audience, but like, what was the audience of Dr. Slump? Was it 5-year-olds? That's what I think it was. So just
Probably,
not for us.
Yeah, just not for us. The manga is so. I like the manga. I would recommend the manga, not so much the movies or the
I'm the same way.
series.
I'm the same way. Although I did quite enjoy movie 3.
The movie 3 is fine.
Yeah.
It was like, what is that, Hanna-Barbera cartoon?
Wacky Races.
Wacky Races with Speed Racer.
No,
but
Wacky
with
Races.
less deaths.
You got Dick Dastardly and Penelope Pitstop. You got all those, and that I was thinking the exact same thing when watching this. Like, okay, I can get behind this movie. This is good. This is fine. So, I think overall, I just gave it kind of a 5 out of 10. I didn't know really what else to do with it. Just average, just slapstick comedy show. Couldn't get into it the way I wanted to. Not quite what I expected, but the manga was definitely much more fun, and we did cover that on a past episode. What about you guys?
Yeah, pretty much. I'll give it a 4. It did everything.
Mm-hmm.
None of it is really well done, but it did everything. Manga is still quite good. That is all.
Nah. I basically, like I said, I didn't really feel that I was in a position to really fucking review this show, because, god damn it, it's just not for me. It's not trying to be for me. It's nothing here for me. So I was just sitting here, it's like, I don't really have anything to say about this show, other than it's basically the same as Jay said. It's 5s across the board, except for the 5th movie, which I gave a 4, because at that point I was so fucking burnt out on this. I just couldn't fucking take it anymore. I dropped the score. But,
Yeah. Well, fair enough.
Eh.
All right. Well, like I said at the top of the podcast, next episode, we are going to do the Evangelion rebuild movies. All 4 of them. I guess it's just kind of a thoughts over the show, and basically, I think, sticking to kind of the final movie, since it's such a important thing in anime going on, and we'll kind of give our basic thoughts over the first 3. But yeah, we're going to be going over the rebuild movies. Hope you enjoy that show. That's what we're doing next time. See you, everybody.
Peace.
Goodbye.